All right. Let's see here. For some reason, I hit play before I got situated this morning. Don't know why. Hope this finds you all doing very, very well, as usual. And I'm going to share something with you today based on some of the stuff that has come clear to me through my own journaling this morning. Let's see. I know some of you guys. I'm going to invite some people. I'm inviting some people now, just kind of trying to pick and choose who I think would really like to see this. It's going to be important. This one's going to be a biggie, a biggin. So let's see. Yeah, we'll get these folks going. There we go. Got some invites sent out. Welcome, Mike. All right. What's up, Mikey? What's up, Bob? Let me just ease on into this. Ease on into knowing that I'm about to A, drop a little bomb on you, and B, while it may not feel good when you're hearing it, it will be powerful for you to think about and to implement it's an awareness shift, right? So you could think of this as another money mindset with Manny. I like that. And so here's the thing. As I was doing my journaling today, and I realized that I had, hold on a second, let's see here. I had created this, which to you guys, A, you can't read it. And so anyway, I had created this, and this represents a fairly big piece of work that I was dragging my feet on doing. What is it? Well, it's an outline or a flow. It's a presentation outline. So my phone is going nuts right now. It's a presentation outline. Now, ironically, and Thomas, you'll appreciate this. Mike, you'll appreciate this. Heck, you guys should all appreciate this. Knowing that I train speakers and coach speakers, surely you can see the irony in me dragging my feet creating a presentation. Matt Gibbons, thanks for tuning in this morning, man. I appreciate that. But nevertheless, I was dragging my feet about creating a presentation. And simultaneously, or more or less simultaneously, I was dragging my feet about following a suggestion for for a specific way to take some of the videos that I've been boosting, that have been getting great traction, and turning them into a marketing funnel. Now, both of these things are things that if I want to grow, that I need to have in place. Now, let me tell you why. We can get to a certain level of, let's just talk about income for a moment, right? We can get to a certain level of income using entirely organic methods. It's totally possible, totally 100%. If for some reason you're hearing this message and you don't know, you're not sure about the efficacy of organic and primarily organic promotion and marketing, it absolutely works. It absolutely works. It's gotten me, for the most part, to where I am. So it's not that it doesn't work, but here's the thing. And this is the big aha moment. This is the revelation for you guys. This is what I'm giving you today. If you have an all organic strategy for client attraction, which there's nothing wrong with that at all. In fact, I love it. Me and organic, we're like arm in arm, we're buddy, we're side by each. So those who know me know that I'm a big fan of it. But there comes a point when my ambition, and probably yours as well, is going to start outstripping the sort of the boundaries of what you can create with an all organic effort. Right now, again, there's nothing. I have nothing bad to say about organic marketing. When I got into the space originally, I tried to, well, first of all, let me tell you, I didn't understand what a funnel was. I felt like I was like a young Motown singer, naive and shiny and full of optimism, and that the world of online marketing was Berry Gordy. And Berry Gordy wanted me to just come sing into this microphone and he was going to give me $100. That's a pretty, that's a pretty strange analogy. The point is this. The point is, when I first came into the space, everybody was talking about funnels. And in my naivete, I assumed that build it and they will come. Build a funnel, your business is now set forever. I had no idea that the funnel was nothing more than the, what would another good analogy be? Like, it's just the pipeline. It's, there's any number of points throughout the pipeline that have to be optimized and fixed and tweaked and made to work. So I didn't know any of that. So I jumped in earnest with this idea of funnels, and it cost me a lot of money. Nobody ever told me you can have any kind of funnel, but if the funnel isn't set up and tested and made to work, it's just going to cost you thousands of dollars. So that's what happened. And I veered over to organic, and I got pretty good at organic. I got pretty good at breaking down into a system and a science how to do not throwing money away on funnels and still get clients. And so I just leaned into that completely, as one would, right? I just leaned completely into the organic efforts. Now, here's the thing. I want you to close your eyes. Close them. Don't peek. Close them. Are your eyes closed? If your eyes are closed, send up an emoji. All right. So here's the thing. I leaned into them fully, as anyone would. But what organic marketing sort of is, and this is a very random analogy or metaphor, your eyes are still closed, right? So you can visualize this. It's like you go into a room every morning, you wake up, you drink your coffee, and then you go into a room every morning. And this room it's an insane room. It's a crazy room out of like the movie Labyrinth or something. And it's just got gears and levers and pulleys and pedals and bells and like it's just wall to wall, ceiling to floor is just all this stuff that you can turn or flick or yank or stomp or punch. And if you do the right combination of all those things, there's one chute at the top. And from that chute pops out a paying client. But there's no way to know what the right process and sequence is to make the client pop out the top of the funnel. Does that make sense? Do you get the analogy there? And so what I'm trying to say in my own hopefully clever and very visual way is there's a lot of organic marketing, or there was, for me, that was hard to systematize and hard to quantify. I just knew if I showed up every day and I was pulling the levers and stepping on the pedals and turning the cranks and, all of that stuff, that sooner or later a client would pop out. And that's great. And so I focused on things like offering more value and raising my prices. And those things work. By the way, once again, just as a reminder, I am not saying anything bad about organic marketing. I am all for it. But it is labor intensive. And so there becomes a level that it seems very hard to get beyond, because without a system, there's only so much labor you can put in a day. right? Does that make sense? By the way, if that makes sense, I really do want you to hit some thumbs ups, some smiley faces, some hearts, or something. I really want to know if you're tracking this. This is meant to be educational. I really want to change your thinking here, today, now on this live stream. So let me know if you understand that the sort of inherent limitation to organic marketing is that there's only so much bandwidth you can dedicate in a given day to your marketing efforts. Yeah? Okay, good. So, but that having been said, because it was making me money and it was growing my business, I leaned in like anyone would. And as I leaned in, pay attention here, guys. Sit up at the front of your chairs and pay attention to this. As I leaned in, and remember I said this is like mindset, money mindset with Manny, right? Money and marketing mindset with Manny. Pay attention. As I leaned into the organic marketing, it started to subtly shift my thinking. And my thinking became focused on what I can do today to get a client today. What can I do today to get a client today? Give me a second here. I'm going to create for you guys one of my famous line drawings. Give me just a second. Give me just a little more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. You see this? This is Stephen Covey's four-quadrant model. And I'm going to modify it to fit the idea of organic marketing. In quadrant 1, we have activities that are short-term, unfocused, but can produce short-term results. Okay? Quadrant 2, we have activities that are more long-term in nature, might not produce short-term results right away, but over time, they will produce huge results. And that's a little arrow going up. Quadrant 3 and quadrant 4, you just never want to be in at all. Quadrant 3 would be misunderstood efforts. So this is people who get sort of hooked on likes and engagement without ever turning it into monetization. And then quadrant 4 would be long-term efforts that don't pan out. So what we'll do with those is we will draw an arrow down there. So where you want to be, ideally, is a combination of, 1 and 2. These are the places you want to spend your time. Now, it's very easy on social media. Hey, Sean, what's up, brother? To confuse, for instance, 3 and 4 with 1 and 2. It's especially easy to confuse all kinds of activities with quadrant 2 activities. Quadrant 2, remember, is the quadrant that represents long-term big growth activities for your marketing, right? And so if you are, let me get a different color to really drive this home. If you are all organic, which again, I am not against, but here's the thing. You are all in quadrant 1 or quadrant 1 and 3, depending on how good you are at monetizing your efforts, your organic efforts, right? I know lots of people who can get lots of engagement. In fact, one day I was showing the audience growth metrics, sharing them with Facebook. I had hit about 280,000 people in my audience. And a friend of mine, in a humble brag, which was just embarrassing for him, he shows me a page that he's created that has over 1.1 million audience members on it. 1.1 million. Now, simple math says if you've got an audience of 1.1 million, there are a lot of customers in there for you. 1.1 million people who know you is going to equal several hundred who would buy from you. Think about that. Several hundred people that would buy from you. And that's at a low estimate. And so I said to him, and this, remember, we're giving an example here of quadrant 3, the people that don't know how to monetize their organic efforts. I said to him, that's amazing. What's the conversion? What are you doing? How many of them are you turning into customers? And he got that whole kind of sanctimonious broke guy. You know what I'm talking about? The sanctimonious broke guy. You know who I mean? The guy who's self-righteous about not making any fucking money. Are you kidding me? He says, not everything has to be in efforts of a sale. Like, how much time did you spend to get 1.1 million people to be in your audience? Oh, I've been managing this page for about 3 years. So you built up a page over 3 years for nothing, just to feel good about yourself. Buddy, you are quadrant 3 all the way. Get it? Thomas says, I think I'm in quadrant 1 and 2. Yeah. Quadrant toilet. Okay, Tom, I think you better stop drinking in the mornings, buddy. I think you're in quadrant 1 and 2 also, Tom, but let's give people a chance here because you just made your first offer recently. Now, the point of this is this. You ideally want to be, again, as I said, in quadrants 1 and 2. 1 and 2. You want to be spending time in both of those quadrants. Hey, Jordan. In other words, once you have your marketing, your organic marketing set up so that you are in fact attracting and of course converting and landing and serving clients every month, what will happen? One of two things will happen. You're either doing it the madcap way, where you're just yanking levers and pushing buttons and stomping on pedals, or you're doing it with a system. Spoiler alert, my Coach's Branding Blueprint program gives you a deadly awesome system for that. To where you can have, once you set the system in place and you run it, it takes you an hour or two each day. And as it builds up momentum, you get clients on a regular basis. Now it's time to start thinking about quadrant 2. This is what this whole talk was about. So do pay attention. When we get to where we find something that is working, we tend not to look beyond it. Here's what was happening for me, and here's what will happen for you. If you ever refine an organic marketing system, you're going to come up against its limitations, right? At some point, you'll come up against, okay, there is not enough bandwidth that I have that I can put into this for this to work any bigger than it's working now. So you need to start thinking long term. Quadrant 2. Long-term thinking with big results, long-term actions that have big results over time. So this was the revelation from this morning. The big thing holding you in place as you try to expand, especially if your focus is on organic marketing, is it's very difficult to shift our thinking and our actions into the things that will take longer but potentially pay off bigger down the road. Are you tracking that? Does that make sense? If that makes sense, let me know. I really want you guys to get this. And by the way, when I say let me know, I mean send emojis or say something. But let me know, because what happens is we get so caught up in quadrant 1. Quadrant 1, by the way, is sort of It's defined by activities that need your attention right away or results stop coming in. Quadrant 1 is defined by activities that require your attention right away or results stop coming in. I'm going to say that again. Quadrant 1 is defined by, thank you, Sean, thank you, Thomas, activities that need your attention right away, urgently, or results stop coming in. They create a feeling that if you ever take your foot off the gas pedal, the money will stop flowing. That is an incredibly unnerving feeling. So you've hit this organic, okay. No, Alan, wrong. You want to stay out of quadrant 3 and 4 entirely. Quadrant 1 is looking for one-at-a-time clients right away, maybe 2 or 3 at a time, and there's nothing wrong with that. Quadrant 2 is building out pieces that will pay dividends for a long time with very little additional work or effort from you. And Mike nails it. Mike Hodges nails it right here. Yes, I get it, but it's both empowering and weird to move to autopilot. Yes. Why? Because, Mike, we are so conditioned that if we yank the levers and push the pedals and punch the punches and turn the cranks, that a client will come out. It's hard to let go of that. Right? This is, by the way, guys, we're talking about money, and make no mistake, whether you have enough money coming in or not is hardwired into, it's like your nervous system is affected by that. Hey, Diana, because no matter how we want to sort of put money in these funny categories, you go long enough without money, you don't eat. Like your body knows that money is linked to your survival. Okay. And so our nervous system will latch on to this organic that can get frantic, this frantic organic kind of push to bring new money in. And it makes it very difficult to shift our energy, our focus, our attention over to these longer term pieces. Ultimately, though, here's how I want you to think about it. Set up, refine, and systematize quadrant 1. By the way, Coach's Branding Blueprint program has done that for you. Set up, refine, and systematize the organic marketing so that it doesn't have to be you're constantly pulling the levers and stepping on the pedals, praying for a client to come out the chute. You can put an hour, 90 minutes, 2 hours a day into your organic marketing and leave it. It's good. Then when you start to have $7, $8, $10, $12, $15,000 a month coming in, you can begin to pull back. Whew, my nervous system just relaxes just thinking about it. You can begin to pull back and say, where can I allocate some more of my time, bandwidth, and resources? For instance, building a simple funnel. I showed you this, seems like years ago, right? This is a presentation outline, I told you. Why, Manny? Why do you need a presentation outline? Because I am actively looking for groups. I'm looking for other people's audiences that I can add value to. And I want to add that value systematically. I want to add that value in a predictable way that I can refine with each new group. You see that long list of names there in red behind me? Those are people whose groups hey, Jackie, I'm either already set to do trainings in, or I'm going to do trainings in, or I'm in negotiations to do trainings in. See, this is more long-term thinking, because instead of just doing my organic stuff, landing a new client or 2 new clients or 5 new clients or whatever it is, I am now in exchange for, with each of those people, there's some exchange, whatever it is. It could be money, it could be access to my group and my audience, whatever it is. There's an exchange that happens where they feel it's equitable, so they give me access and permission to tap their groups. What am I doing here? Well, I'm reaching other audiences. I've picked all of those people because they in some way complement what I do. And I in some way complement what they do. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 people on that list. If I can get all 12 of them to set up deals with me where I can train their audiences, some say I can offer, some say no, but either way is okay, right? Because I'm showing a whole new audience who I am, what I do, and why I'm a badass. Get it? That naturally leads to more clients, by the way, in case you're not clear on that. And if I can do all of those in a month or 6 weeks, if I lock all of those in and I do all those presentations in a month or 6 weeks, a few things happen. One, I get to refine my presentation and ultimately having a very good training that is meant to drive leads is something you'll need. That's one of those longer term, wait for it, quadrant 2 pieces. You get it? Another good thing is it'll drive clients. That'll drive clients to me without a doubt. And I'd be willing to bet that if I can knock all those down in a month or 6 weeks, that I will drive more clients to myself than I would otherwise have driven. So I'm doing 2 things. I'm refining my presentation while I'm driving clients to my business. Now let's make it 3 things. I'm also tracking data. I'm tracking data as I do all of this so that I can take this data and bring it to people who have bigger lists. People who are more serious in the JV game. And I can come to them and I can say, check it out. I did 12 presentations. Half of them were no pitch. I drove 15, conversions or 20 or 30 conversions or whatever. And I can show all the data and I can use that to make bigger JV arrangements and deals with bigger people. And then once I've done that, I can move to the next tier and the next tier. What I want to do by January or February is I want to be able to set up JV deals with people who have lists of 50,000 to 100,000 people. Again, what am I doing here? Quadrant 2 thinking. Because I know it only takes me about an hour and a half every day now for my organic marketing to be on point and continue to attract clients. So my baseline is covered. Now I'm shifting my focus over to these longer term plays. I want you guys to stop for a second. I want you to do something to let me know you're tracking this. Not just hearing me, but tracking this. This is your next level. Let me know you're tracking this. Thumbs ups, baby. Smiley faces, hearts, comments, something. Let me know you're tracking this. I'm giving it all away right here. This is your Jedi, Samurai, Ninja, American badass next level right here. So show me some love. Show me that you're appreciating it. This is mastermind level shit that you'd normally have to pay thousands of dollars to even have this idea shared with you. I got a little bit of love from Mike Hodges. Nobody else is excited about this? Are you kidding me? Okay, there's a little bit more. I'm really surprised, guys. I see that there's at least 10 people, little eye icons watching, which means there's probably more than 10 people watching, and nobody is excited about this? Okay, all right. Sean's kicking some love up. Good. Because I'm serious. If you know what it's like to have to hustle and grind with no directly correlatable ROI in terms of new clients, and it's just like, all I know is if I just keep posting on social media and making offers, finally, sooner or later, there you go, guys. Thank you. Sooner or later, somebody shows up, right? That's okay, because I want you to have at least a couple clients. But look, even if you get your organic marketing into a system, most of us never make the shift over to the long-term quadrant 2 play. That's why you'll never, pardon my French, fucking grow beyond somebody who has a simple organic system. You've got to make that shift. And when you make that shift, that's when you need strategies. That's when you need to understand things that you probably haven't been exposed to yet, right? My mentor, a fella named Mark Lack, just an amazing guy. Hey, Melinda. Hey, Alan, Diana, Sean. Okay, good. He's going to make most of his money next year behind the scenes. So what you see on Facebook will represent about 20% of his income, probably, maybe less, because he's grown his back end. All of these things I'm talking about, he's got them so built out and refined that they're going to be responsible for, probably $6 or $7 million of his revenue next year. Stuff you'll never see. Do you get it? We should start off organic. That's as it should be. But what happens is, as you get results with organic, your DNA, I'm telling you, it's down to your nervous system. What happens is your very nervous system starts to orient toward doing more of what you're doing. And it becomes very hard to pull out of that sort of trench and trust and focus and allocate and discipline yourself to put in the longer term pieces. So I've got my presentation. I've got about 12 people on my initial list. By the way, if anyone here has a meaningful list, audience, or group and would like to talk about a JV or a mutually beneficial relationship with me, reach out. I'm very, very open to that. And I'm going to be building this up so that I can hit the next level of JV partners, the people who focus on affiliate marketing. That's their goal. They build lists, they nurture lists, they earn trust so that they can do good JV arrangements, right? Ones that are meaningful, ones that have integrity, and ones that both people can benefit from. That's where I'm heading next. And I'll keep doing my organic marketing, right? Because now at this point, my organic marketing only takes, honestly, my organic marketing doesn't have to go any further for me personally than doing this live stream. My team will take this live stream, turn it into potentially hours of content that I can put across the four main platforms. And so it's done. But you've got to shift your thinking. Remember, the big thing holding you in place as you try to expand that you probably never thought about. That's the title of this live stream, this broadcast. And here it is. Once we get results in quadrant 1, it becomes very difficult to move into quadrant 2, right? Because at the level of our nervous systems and our survival instincts, we're telling ourselves, this is what works, this is what pays. And again, remember I said, don't be confused about the importance of money. Money is food, money is a roof, money is the ability to move forward, okay? So take that shit very seriously. And what I mean by that is take the way your body reacts to finding something. For your body, finding a way to make money is similar to finding shelter or finding food, because your body knows that money is survival and that lack of money is destitution and dangerous. Okay. So first you build your organic system, and remember, new level, new devil, right? As we grow and expand, we face new challenges. And one of those challenges is what I'm talking about here. Once you're entrenched in this organic methodology that you found that creates clients for you, you've got to then discipline and will yourself to systematize it and shift your attention elsewhere so you can start building out the longer term pieces. That's how it works, my friends. That's how it works. Whew, that was deep. That was deep. And I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Man, I went 34 minutes, 35 minutes on that one. There's some good stuff in there. There's some good stuff in there. Remember your quadrants. You don't want quadrant 3 or quadrant 4 at all. You want first 1, and then you want to be able to do 1 and 2 together. Then you may decide down the road you don't even want one anymore. That's up to you. That's fine. But that's the way to think of it. And know that you're going to face a challenge in the transition from 1 to 1 and 2 together. It's going to be hard, but you can do it. I know you can. I believe in you. Hell, if you're in my program, I'll coach you through it. Coach's Branding Blueprint Program. Okay, guys, thank you so much for sticking with me on this one. Thanks, Melinda. Yeah. Hey, Melinda, I'm going to see you at the Speaking Seriously Championships, aren't I? I think I am. Anyway, all right. Have a great day, you guys. Thanks for hanging with me for that one. That was deep, and I hope I've really provided a meaningful shift for you in the way you're thinking. All right.